Welcome to Btekt, David here. Now make sure that you subscribe and smash that like button for me, and let's get into it. Today I've got a three-way comparison for you between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, the Huawei P30 Pro and the Sony Xperia 1. But this time we're going to focus on the super slow motion. All three of these devices are capable of that really beautiful, super slow 960 frames per second stuff. And we love it here at Btekt. We did a comparison last year between the predecessors of these phones, so it will be interesting to see how much progress they've made in a year. But before we get going, I want to say a big thank you to Direct Mobiles. Over 24 years of award-winning customer service, and it is undoubtedly a great place to look if you need a new phone. They have comparison tools that will help you to compare all deals with all UK networks, all in one place. Their link is in the video description below, or search directmobiles.co.uk. Right, so let's get going. P30 Pro versus S10 Plus versus the Xperia 1. I'll say again, all three of these are amazing handsets and all are extremely well equipped throughout. Although when it comes to the super slow motion, not all phones are equal. If you have a P30 Pro and you've used the super slow motion, you might have noticed that sometimes you get back fairly strange results. That's by no means all of the time though. You see, the P30 Pro is not equipped with the right type of hardware for it to be able to achieve proper 960 frames per second slow-mo. Not wanting to be left behind, Huawei have included interpolation software which analyzes two separate frames and then can fill the gaps with the missing frames based on those two images. You see, if we view a video that's been shot below 24 frames per second, then we start to see juddery animation to the video. Anything above that and we will see smooth motion. So if you can record video at something like 960 frames per second and then play it back at 24 frames per second, our eyes will see beautifully smooth and incredibly slow video. There is software available that will allow you to slow down any video footage. Even if it was shot at 24 frames per second, you can still slow it down to the equivalent of around about 2000 frames per second. And it works very well most of the time. It really does depend on the shot. In fact, it works pretty well most of the time on the P30 Pro. And I'm sure that most owners will probably never notice that something's a little bit off with their slow motion. The big giveaway for interpolation is if something unexpected happens. So if motion comes from off the screen or if the subject is just moving too fast, it does get a little bit confused. The Sony and the Samsung approach the problem differently. They have extra hardware in there specifically to deal with shooting at such a high frame rate. Extra memory is built onto the imaging sensor, with the purpose of buffering the frames, resulting in true super slow motion footage. As I said before, most people would never even notice or even care, but if you put it side by side with a phone like the Galaxy S10 or the Xperia 1, then it comes apparent pretty quickly. This kind of slow motion technique is extremely useful for filmmakers, but when it's implemented on a smartphone, well, it does feel a little bit like it's cheating. But I would rather have some form of super slow motion in the phone than none at all. Let's put the Xperia 1 and the S10 Plus side by side to see which one comes out on top. But it turns out that it's a bit of a case of swings and roundabouts. There's no doubt that the Sony Xperia 1 delivers you super slow motion in better quality, especially with its 1080p recording. However, that recording is just too short. 1/10 of a second is only 3 seconds of slow motion footage, which isn't really long enough for anything really. Even the water in these balloons doesn't get off the screen before it resumes its normal speed. The S10, however, you have a much longer recording time, which in turn makes for more dramatic videos, even if the quality isn't quite as good. As nice as it is to have slow-mo in 1080p, I find myself keeping the Xperia 1 in 720p. But probably more important than that is the method of capture. We're talking about very short recording times here, so it can be a pain. It took me quite a few goes before I finally nailed this shot. But when using the Samsung, I only needed one, as the auto capture feature works really well. Line up where you think the action will be within the square, and as soon as movement is detected, the slow motion recording is started. The P30 Pro also has this feature, and I find it a bit strange that Sony left it out. But one feature the Xperia 1 does have that the other two don't is the continuous recording. You can record a video in 720p, and then whenever you want to capture the super slow motion moment, tap the shutter and it will start to record, and then go back to normal speed, ready for you to grab another slow motion shot at any time. It is a nice system because it gives you a much longer video with the slow motion clips already there in place, although I do wish it had the auto capture feature as well. It's just a software feature, so I don't know why they've left it out. Overall, I think it's disappointing that the P30 Pro hasn't improved on the slow motion from the previous models, and although it is a nice feature to have, put it next to the S10 or the Xperia 1 and there's just no contest really. For the Sony Xperia 1, well, it's a little disappointing that they haven't chosen to increase the recording times. It would have been nice to at least get 2/10 in 1080p. 1/10 is just too short, and again it is slightly let down by the lack of the auto capture. It does redeem itself a bit with its continuous recording, although I do feel like the auto capture feature would just have been more useful. The Galaxy S10 Plus on the other hand, well, it just excels at super slow motion. The auto capture is great and the recording times have been vastly improved over the previous models. The only advantage that the Huawei brings to the table is the fact that it is much better in low light. Both the Sony and the Samsung will suffer heavily if you try to use the slow motion in low light. If you use it outdoors in bright sunshine, then you get amazing results. But really, that isn't enough for me. Overall, the Samsung wins this one. Anyway, that's it from me. Make sure that you smash the like button, leave me a comment, and of course subscribe for more tech news and reviews. IFA is just around the corner, the biggest consumer electronics show of its kind in Europe. We will be there covering it, of course, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the manufacturers have in store for us this year. So make sure you sub so you don't miss any IFA content. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. It's at Btekt, or add me on Snapchat, david.btekt. Thanks for watching. My name's David. This is Btekt.